Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Sawyer Center, site of today's Great American Conference matchup between your Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm and the Southeastern Oklahoma State Savage Storm. A little bit of a storm battle here at the Sawyer Center today as we first up with the women's game. Both the Crimson Storm and the Savage Storm look to overcome last-second losses. Savage Storm lost against Oklahoma Baptist at the buzzer on Thursday night, 74-72, and here at the Sawyer Center, SNU was unable to get a last-second shot to fall as they fell to Northwestern Oklahoma State 56-55. I'm Luke McConnell alongside Russ Frisbee for today's call. We'll have the men's matchup for you immediately following the women's matchup, but first up for the Crimson Storm women and the Savage Storm women, Russ, close matchups for both teams, and for SNU, just one that really kind of got away after a commanding first-half lead. Just kind of fell apart there in the third quarter, and then it was tight down the stretch, but unable to make the plays to get the win.
Yeah, just slipped away there at the end. We had a couple of possessions back-to-back on offense where we really had a chance to ice that game, but nonetheless, it's going to turn into a tough loss on our first Thursday night here of the six-game homestand. But hoping SNU and Southeastern both coming off of, like you said, tough losses Thursday night, both looking to turn around here on Saturday. Hoping SNU can kind of get some momentum rolling into this long home stretch.
And Russ, what positives did you take away from Thursday night? Obviously, the six-game winning streak was snapped for the Crimson Storm, and they fell into a tie for second in the conference with Harding and Henderson State. We'll see Harding here in a couple weeks. And the Crimson Storm, of course, have the season sweep of Henderson State. But what positives did you take away in that one-point loss?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good for sure. SNU, of course, always the defense. Defense holding up strong. Saw a lot of great post play, but a lot of good irritant guard play, too. Saw a lot of one-man press, 90 feet from the basket, getting in the opponent's head. So a lot of great things on defense we saw. And some shooting flew in for the winter here. SNU shot the three ball very well in that second quarter. Something we haven't seen a ton of this season. That was very exciting to see, especially some play from J.C. Soap coming off the bench. Great shooting stroke coming alive over the last two games. And then really impressed by some of the SNU leadership. Those captains we watched, I believe Adrian Berry and Abby Nehus played better full of the second half with 4 fouls, and just very impressed by their discipline. Especially Nehus staying constant in the post without getting herself in a position to hurt her team in her absence. So very impressed by those aspects.
Southeastern comes into today's game again. They are 11-8 overall, 9-6 in conference play. They're sitting in a tie for fifth with East Central at 9-6 in conference. Of course, everyone's still chasing Southwestern Oklahoma State 15-0. They've won every game since a season opening loss. They sit at 20-1 overall this season. But in the first matchup between these two teams this season, SNU fell at Southeastern 66-49 down in Durant in a game that Coach Trent May says at the time we just weren't playing very well, and SNU was in the middle of some road woes, if you will. They did not win a road game until January 10th at Arkansas Tech, so just a tough start to the season for SNU and tough going down there. But for Southeastern, completely different squad here as they've got 3 of their top 4 scorers out for the season, the biggest loss being Katie Webb, who came into today's game averaging 20 points per game. She got injured at Oklahoma Baptist, did not finish that game, and is out for this game today, as well as Katie Branham and Cameron Cantwell. So 3 starters, again, 3 of the top leading scorers for the season for the Savage Storm out for this one. So a completely different look given how the Savage Storm are lined up and how SNU has been playing the last month and a half.
Yeah, SNU obviously a completely different team from what we saw before Christmas break. Really having struggles early and now really rolling. But like you said, for Southeastern, Cantwell and Branham going down a little earlier before they're obviously their best player, but over the last 6 games, 2 and 4 the record for the Savage Storm, and just a tough skid here. Maybe an opportunity for SNU to come into a matchup. You know, they lost the last one, and maybe Southeastern kind of feeling like this is one they could handle without their stars. Maybe an opportunity for SNU to get an advantage here, maybe as a little bit of the underdog, come in and get this home streak rolling.
Again, SNU in the midst of a 6-game homestand, a really nice piece of scheduling there from the conference in the back half of conference play. So this is game 2 of the 6-game homestand, and then SNU will be home against OBU and Southwestern next week, and Harding and Arkansas Tech the week after, before traveling to Southern Arkansas and Arkansas Monticello to round out the season before the Great American Conference Tournament in Bartlesville. And Russ, it obviously stings to lose one of those games on your home court, especially against a team that you were looking for some revenge against in Northwestern. But what does SNU need to do today to bounce back with a win against the Savage Storm this afternoon?
Yeah, that was a tough one, but obviously some good takeaways and some tough takeaways that you can really learn from after this one-day turnaround. Offensive rebounding. SNU gave up a ton of offensive boards. Their defense solid and forcing a lot of tough shots, but they just got destroyed on the offensive board, something that the Lady Storm will need to step up and take control of. That, as well as free throw opportunities. Not getting to the line very much in that matchup Thursday night, and sending their opponent to the line constantly. SNU also not taking advantage of all of their free throw opportunities, a tough free throw shooting night. So some little things for SNU to work on. I think those little things come together, and you have a different ball game Thursday night. So hopefully the kind of things that they can look at to improve on here this afternoon.
Both teams are on the floor as we're getting set for the national anthem and starting lineups. We will step aside, and when we come back, we will have the starting lineups for both squads and the opening tip as we get set for SNU and Southeastern here at the Sawyer Center. This is SNU women's basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Centers. We're greeting the starting lineups for both teams. First for the visiting Southeastern Oklahoma State Savage Storm, number 11, Neely Knoll, 5'7" sophomore from Raton, Oklahoma. Number 12, Tracy Johnson, 5'5" junior from Poolville, Texas. Number 13, Briley Moon, 5'6" freshman from Martins Mill, Texas. Number 14, Sierra Rangel, 5'11" sophomore from Alvord, Texas. And number 15, Alex Robinson, 5'6" junior from Cashion, Oklahoma. For the Crimson Storm, it's the same lineup we've seen for the past month and a half or so. Number 4, junior guard Irene Perez, 6 foot from Spain, averaging 6.3 points per game and 4.1 rebounds per game. Number 5, Alexis Jones, 5'8" guard from Burleson, Texas, averaging 8.7 points per game and 4.4 rebounds per game, and number 4 in the conference in assists at 3.6 assists per game. Senior guard Adrian Berry, 5'11" from Oklahoma City and Mount St. Mary's High School. He's averaging 12 points per game, that leads the team, and also 3.7 rebounds per game. He's also shooting 35.5% from three-point range. Number 12, senior guard Madeline Trupfer, 5'5" from Rockwall, Texas. He's averaging 7.3 points per game and a second leading rebounder on the team at 5.5 rebounds per game. And manning the middle is sophomore forward Abby Nehus, number 14. She's 6'2" from Mustang, Oklahoma, averaging 10 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, and she leads the conference in blocks, averaging over 3.5 per game and 75 total for the season. So again, the same lineup for SNU today as has been the lineup for the past month and a half, and we'll see same rotations as well, with J.C. Soap probably first off the bench, along with Kennedy Gillette, Casey Glover, and Massey Beard. As you know, the season goes along, the rotations tighten up, roles are defined, and it seems like SNU is pretty comfortable with where they're at as far as the players who are going to play and where they're going to come in.
Yeah, especially Thursday night, we got to see a lot of that rotation, maybe a little deeper than Coach May wanted it to be with some foul trouble. But like you said, ladies earning those spots, Soap and Gillette contributing excellent minutes off the bench, as well as Massey Beard, and that's the reason they're in those spots. Great minutes off the bench. In fact, we even saw Soap in the crunch time, so be looking for them and what they bring off of that SNU bench.
Thanks for joining us today. We hoped for an exciting matchup between these two teams. Again, hard to read anything into the first matchup in Durant due to the injuries for Southeastern and the improved play of SNU. So it'll be interesting to see how today's matchup shakes out. Good crowd on hand here at the Sawyer Center on a cold Saturday in Bethany. And there's the tip, and Abby Nehus controls, and we're underway. See if SNU can jump out to a quick lead, something they were unable to do on Thursday against Northwestern. Yeah, Nehus down low on the blocks. Left-hand hook shot, a little wild and off, no good.
Both teams coming off of tough losses Thursday and a two-game week. Energy and effort is what you look for early and often from both teams. It's going to be a big deal as to who comes out firing and who comes out with the energy and excitement, as right there already Adrian Jones straight to the bucket. Alexis Jones, and looked like a little Olay defense there from Southeastern.
Absolutely. The C's just parted. Good job running lanes for SNU, and Alexis Jones took it right to the rack for two. Good start for the Crimson Storm. Turnaround jumper is short from Neely Knoll. Adrian Berry has the rebound, and Madeline Trepfer will bring it up for the Storm. The Crimson variety. We've got a little storm warning here today with two Storm mascots. Alexis Jones in traffic and puts it up and in.
Yeah, can't just make the Storm call this afternoon.
Good aggressive play inside for Alexis Jones. Rangel barely kept that pivot foot down. Now Briley Moon up top with it. Tries to go baseline on Alexis Jones. It's doubled by Adrian Berry. Tries to throw it off of one of the SNU players. Ball finds Robinson out top for three. She missed it. Offensive rebound, Tracy Johnson, and Southeastern will get a new shot clock. She drives baseline on Perez, who rejects the shot, and Alexis Jones has the miss. Jones pushing it inside. Beautiful step through, missed it, gets the offensive rebound, and she'll bring it back out and reset for the Crimson Storm.
I like that aggressiveness early here from Alexis Jones. That one not going to fall, but driving, seeing what's there in the primary transition, just going straight to the hoop, making someone stop her.
Perez. Entry pass into Nihus. Left-hand shot's just off the rim, no good. SNU looking to get touches for Abby Nihus early. Good defense there on the drive by Johnson from Shrepford, cutting off the baseline. Rangel for three is no good. Southeastern not afraid to pull the trigger from three. Shooting 39% and have made nearly 200 three-point attempts this season, and then an offensive foul is going to be called on Adrian Berry, setting a screen inside. The first team foul for SNU, who leads 4-0. Nearly 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter.
You talked about that three-point shooting, Luke. SNU typically known for their gritty inside defense and three-point shooting at times on the defensive end, something they've really struggled with.
Shrupfer jumps the passing lane and comes up with the steal. No numbers, but finds Perez inside, and she puts it up and in for two.
A great find there right now is SNU getting everything they want right around the basket. So far, 6 points on 3 layups right around the basket. Great looks for this SNU offense.
Shrepford deflects another pass, and it goes out of bounds off of Neely Knoll. Another turnover for the Savage Storm. Number 14, Sierra Rangel will check out. Number 30, Hayden Williams, 5'9" freshman from Pottsboro, Texas, will check in. Adrian Berry checks out, and J.C. Soap into the game for the first time tonight. Again, J.C. Soap, 3 straight double-figure games for the freshman from Stillwell, Oklahoma. She was the one who took the final shot for SNU on Thursday night. Big moment for her. Did not fall, but you got to like the poise that she displayed there as well.
Yeah, freshman with confidence. That's kind of been the storyline for her right now, is an excellent showing over the last few games, especially with that deep shooting touch.
Jones, good screen from Nihus, frees Jones. She's short, but Shrepfer crashes the offensive glass. Soap thought about the three. Now Perez in the corner. Drives inside. Left-hand layup is up and good. Another great screen inside from Nihus.
Yeah, a couple of missed shots around the bucket for Nihus, but right now finding a way to be relevant on offense with a couple of great screens, freeing up her teammates now, and just a bunch of layups around the rim for SNU.
For 23, Jordan Benson into the game for Southeastern as Hayden Williams crashes through J.C. Soap, but the foul is going to go on the bump by Nihus, and that will send Hayden Williams to the line for 2. Williams, a 65% free throw shooter this year, averaging 4.4 points per game. Lefty tees up the first one and barely grazes iron on the first shot. 8-0 SNU. Just over 4 minutes gone by in this one. That's the second team foul on SNU. Second free throw is also short. And SNU clears. Perez probing the defense from the top of the key. Swings it to Alexis Jones. And an offensive foul is called on Abby Nihus, trying to create some space on Hayden Williams. Kind of a soft foul as far as post play is concerned. Just a little bit of a bump there. But
yeah, kind of a tough call. Maybe looked like she was trying to back down, and I don't know if it was a head bonk or what happened there, but they got her with the call, and she wasn't so sure about it, but she'll take a seat. Massey Beard, the freshman backup post in now to fill those minutes.
Now an offensive foul called the other way on Jordan Benson.
couple of strange possessions now, but we talked about the importance of getting out to that early quick start, and SNU doing just that, 8-0 already. Maybe taking a little personally what we said at the top of the broadcast with the offensive struggles, as they've been moving the ball very well, setting lots of picks. And there's going to be another foul call, unfortunately, on the moving pick. I missed what happened there, Luke.
That one goes on Madeline Schrupfer. That's the 4th team foul for SNU. Three-pointer from Robinson goes down. Southeastern finally on the board halfway through the quarter. It's 8-3 SNU. And Russ, apparently no one knows how to set a screen in this game.
I was just going to compliment SNU has been setting really strong screens, but that's another illegal screen call on the offense. They'll get Massey Beard that time, and I just don't know what they're calling there. Maybe a little shuffle on the feet, but that's a tough back-to-back-to-back offensive possessions for SNU.
That's the 5th team foul on SNU, and that will take us to a stoppage in play. 4:38 to go in the first quarter. It's 8-3 SNU. We'll take timeout and be right back. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading this one 8-3, but unable to perform a legal screen, apparently, as the officials have called SNU for 3 moving picks. They've gotten Southeastern for 1. 4 of SNU's 5 fouls in the quarter have been of the offensive variety.
Maybe an unintentional pick there on her own teammate, the give and go at the top of the key.
That's an air ball floater from Tracy Johnson. JC Soap clears, and SNU coming back the other way quickly. Soap tees up a 3 from the corner. It's short. Rebound tipped by Irene Perez to Alexis Jones. Gets inside and scores.
Great awareness there by Jones. She saw the Southeastern defender on the ground and said, I'd kind of use that as a pick to go around the little pile up in the paint. Easy layup there for 2.
Benson with the spin move. That's an offensive foul on Jordan Benson as Massey Beard takes the charge. That's the 2nd foul on Jordan Benson. 2nd team foul on Southeastern.
Great discipline there on the charge attempt by the freshman. Beard. Looked like Southeastern was kind of going for, Benson was kind of going for the Euro step. And so good discipline to stay still.
Alexis Jones gets inside of Robinson and scores. That was inside of Williams. Looked like she got shoved in the back as well. Williams with the step back 3-pointer. It's off the mark, no good. Johnson has the rebound taken away from her by Jones, and jump ball is called. Jones barely touched that ball, and a jump ball was called. Neely Knoll back into the game. Jordan Benson will take a seat. Southeastern will inbound on the baseline with a fresh shot clock. Inbounds comes to Knoll. She's guarded by Perez. Robinson spins down the lane. Massey Beard tries to take another charge, but it's going to get called for the blocking foul. It's going to be the 2nd foul on Massey Beard, so very quickly SNU post players already in foul trouble here in the first quarter as Beard and Nehus both have 2 fouls.
Yeah, trying to get her feet over and set. Didn't quite get there in time, but this could be a storyline moving forward as both Beard now and Niehus with 2 quick ones.
Alex Robinson hits the first free throw. Second one is also good. 0 knee bend on that free throw attempt. That was kind of strange.
You just catapult it up there and figure out what works for you.
Yeah, locked legs and just flung it. That was strange. But either way, it's 12-5 SNU, 3:11 to go here in the first quarter. SNU doing a great job getting inside. J.C. Soap with the foul line jumpers off the rim, off the backboard, and rim it in. First points outside the paint for SNU. Shrepfer tips the ball away and out of bounds, and Southeastern will maintain possession inbounding on the far sideline.
And the active hands for Shrepfer right now, just being a nuisance on defense, really denying ball, face guarding, and getting a lot of tips and a lot of turnovers early.
As Moon drives the baseline, little arm bar from Alexis Jones. That's going to be her first. So Briley Moon will go to the line for 2. First one is up and good. You mentioned Shrepfer's active hands. She's got 13 steals in her last 4 games, including a career high 6 at Henderson State last Thursday night. Zoe Shield Knight is into the game for the first time today for Massey Beard.
Well, that's just who Shrepford is, you know, a hustle player, a guard who gets a lot of rebounds, lots of steals, and just an active player. Had another offensive foul for SNU going the other way. Tough call there. They'll give the charge, though, to Southeastern, as they'll get J.C. Soap on the charge right in the middle of the paint.
A little bit too aggressive there from Soap. Kind of got lost in the crowd and didn't have many options. Williams going through Shield Knight, throws it off the backboard, no good. Perez has the rebound. Perez flings it over to Soap. Now Shrepfer probing. Alexis Jones gets to Shield Knight. She's stripped by Neely Knoll. And Southeastern comes away with it. Moon working on Alexis Jones. Spins, pivots, spins again, and finds some space and puts it in off the glass. Good footwork there from Briley Moon to finally find the space needed to get that shot up and in. It's 14-9 SNU. Shrepfer hiding behind the Shield Knight pick, goes down to the baseline and scores with the left hand. Great patience from Shrepfer, hiding behind the Shield Knight screen, and finally popped out of there and had a clear lane to the basket. Robinson traveled, trying to get her feet set for the three-pointer. And Sierra Rangel will come into the game for Hayden Williams.
Shrepfer going to go over and thank Shield Knight for staying put there on the pick as a nice little offensive look, paying off.
So SNU up 16-9, 8 of 13 from the field. 11 combined turnovers for the two teams. Soap pump fakes the 3, steps inside to the elbow, missed it long. Perez has the offensive rebound, puts it up and in.
Yeah, you said it. Great shooting percentage right now, 9 of 15, 60% for SNU. But just credit that to great looks, taking a lot of shots in and around the basket. Only thing outside of the paint really has been Soap, who's taken some good mid-range looks, but SNU getting everything they want on offense.
Knoll forces up a 3. It's no good. Alexis Jones pushing. Finds Soap. Great feed, and Soap goes in, and the foul. Beautiful feeds from Alexis Jones, and Soap finishes through contact, and she'll have a chance at a three-point play.
This SNU offense looking incredible here in the first quarter. Anything and everything around the basket from the block. This time an opportunity for 3, but that shooting percentage just got even a little bit better.
Soap knocks down the free throw. And SNU flies in to bring some full court pressure. Johnson breaks that fairly easily. Robinson thought about a deep three. Now she'll drive in. Wild shot. Thought she was going to get some contact from Shield Knight, but no such thing. Perez wisely dribbles it back out. Finds herself wide open on the right ring for three, and she got it!
Just great decision making there by Perez as the initial transition shut down. She kicks it out just a little bit, but no one went with her after stopping ball.
Knoll at the buzzer is no good. A huge first quarter for Southern Nazarene as the Crimson Storm lead by 15 after one. It's 24-9 SNU. We'll take timeout when we come back. Second quarter coming at you.
A customer is on the fence about buying a car. We should
give him a hug.
No.
Oh,
next.
And a full frontal.
No way. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
That's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 9.
This is where I use the skills I've learned. This is where the moments I love happen. This is where I grew up, and it's also where I serve.
In the U.S. Army Reserve, you train at least 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Here, you learn the skills to lead and succeed in life while staying close to home. Part-time service, full-time success. GoArmyReserve.com.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. A dominating performance in the first quarter for SNU. 24 points on the board and 65% shooting. Only Blight 6 turnovers, courtesy of 5 offensive fouls, Russ, and just a little bit of an issue there for SNU in the first quarter, but they battled through and have put on a show. Irene Perez already with 9 points and 4 rebounds. Alexis Jones 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, SNU's offense looking, like you said, aside from some screen miscues, looking very solid, getting shot opportunities everywhere that they want them, right under the basket. This team looking really good right now at the offensive end.
Shield Knight thought about the three, but traveled on the pump fake. So another turnover for SNU. Gives it back to the Savage Storm. SNU extending some full court pressure, trying to speed the Savage Storm up here in this one. Again, Savage Storm without 3 of their 4 leading scorers this season as Moon gets the reverse layup to go. Good drive there on the baseline from Briley Moon. 3 of their leading scorers this season out for the season with injuries. Just a huge blow to this Southeastern team and making this a very different matchup than what we saw back in December between these two teams. Perez across the lane, in and out, no good. And then
I think they got Perez on an offensive foul after the shot. I'm not entirely sure, though.
Oh, and the official came in and overruled the other official. We've got a blocking foul now is the call.
So now if that foul's after the shot, is it a shooting? They're going to line them up for free throws.
So the foul will go on Sierra Rangel. And Irene Perez will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Some more discussion.
I think the ruling was that Rangel was in the restricted area. Remember, the white lines on the court are the women's three-point line and restricted area, and I think the official on the side closest to us ruled that Rangel had a foot in that restricted area as Perez crashed through her across the lane. So Perez hits the first free throw, misses the second. And Perez already with 10 points after a quiet night on Thursday. Really a quiet couple nights for Irene Perez, but a huge start to this one. Rangel, good defense from Shield Knight on the pivot by Rangel, and Shrepford comes away with the rebound. Ball is poked away from behind by Moon, and Knoll has it now. Feeds Moon in the corner. She'll bring it back up top and set up for the Savage Storm. Trying to drive baseline on Alexis Jones. Rangel at the elbow, now Knoll up top guarded by Perez, and Schrupfer again gets in the middle of that passing lane and knocks it away. Jones, hesitation, good fake to the outside, and she gets the floater to go.
And nice drive. The primary transition right now for SNU, absolutely excellent. Driving straight at the basket and taking the opportunities. Is a deep three there from Southeastern. An incredible shot there from Briley Moon. That'll be her 9th point of the game, but really stretching the range there.
Adrian Berry trying to respond from the corner. It's short, but Shield Knight gets the offensive rebound and is fouled as Rangel rolled up on her from behind. Briley Moon shooting 44% from three-point range. She's their 2nd leading three-point shooter in terms of makes and 3rd in attempts. She's 37 of 84 coming into today's game, and she is that 3rd leading scorer for the Savage Storm this season. A couple substitutions. Jordan Benson back in, along with Hayden Williams. Perez was unaware of the inbounds pass. It looked like it hit the underside of the backboard.
Maybe caught the net or something, but a little face guard action from Southeastern. They didn't know where the ball was. Rolled right up over her shoulder.
Foul called there on Neely Knoll. Sonia Sarda into the game for the first time, and she travels, trying to drive to the basket. Sarda hasn't seen the court in the past few games, but getting some early action here in the 2nd quarter. With SNU up 27-14 over Southeastern. SNU extremely active on both ends of the floor. Moon sends Alexis Jones through the baseline, but trickles back out to the three-point line and misses that one. No harm, no foul there for SNU.
Trent May calling over there to Jones. Haskins slow down and maybe set up a play here. Look for something out of the half court.
Berry's called for traveling on the spin. Frustrating start to this one for Adrian Berry. Missed her only shot and has a moving screen call and then that turnover. Hayden Williams with a nice spin and jumper.
Yeah, a couple tough travel calls here so far for Sarda, for Shield Knight, and now for Berry, as SNU's traded in the moving screen for the travel, I guess.
Sarda up top with it now. Jones penetrates. Benson reached in, wasn't able to strip it away. Shield Knight pivots, throws up the shot. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. Foul is going to be on Briley Moon. Excuse me, 23, Jordan Benson. That's her 3rd already. 4th team foul on the Savage Storm already. SNU with 0 here in the quarter. Shield Knight hits the free throw. Benson will check out with those 3 fouls, so SNU will be shooting free throws the rest of the way here in the quarter. Madeline Schrupfer will check in. Sonia Sarda will take a seat. Shield Knight, 2nd free throw up and good. Shield Knight 87.5% from the line coming into today's game. She knocks both of those down to give SNU a 29-16 lead.
They got a trap now. Smothering defense from SNU as Southeastern going to need to work here with 8 on the shot clock.
Knoll has to force up the three-pointer. It's long, and Schrupfer has the rebound. Alexis Jones controlling up top. As you mentioned, Russ, just some really great defense from SNU. Pass from Schrupfer is tipped and stolen by Johnson. Southeastern shooting just 5 of 19 from the field, and 1 of their last 5 from three-point range, or 2 of 9 for the day. Wide pass is stolen by Perez. Great save to Schrupfer. Great lead pass to Berry. Looked like she got pushed in the back there, and the rebound goes off of Williams out of bounds.
That's a tough angle there on the layup. It looks like Darren Grover over here trying to ask for a travel. Maybe he thought he saw a couple of extra steps But like you said, Luke, I think it might have come off of a little hand to the back.
Casey Glover will check in for Alexis Jones. SNU will maintain possession here after the miss from Barry. Glover, the freshman from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. Perez from the foul line, well off the mark to the right. Glover had some big games early for SNU, but kind of hit a freshman wall, if you will. Wild shot is controlled by Shield Knight, and she'll stop and give that up to Perez.
Pushing out in transition and then maybe deciding that she did not want to be the one bringing the ball and pushing transition.
Adrian Berry working hard, a little bit too close there to Perez. Working on Robinson, kicks his Shield Knight. Shield Knight will pull the trigger for three. It's off, no good. Schrupfer battling inside, takes the rebound away, puts it up, no good. She just took that rebound right away from Knoll.
Yeah, she hesitated a little bit, maybe thinking the defense would respond quickly, but hesitated a little too long maybe and missed the layup now on the other side, Southeastern.
Williams, nice spin move, goes back to the left hand, missed it. Schrupfer tracks down the rebound in the corner. Perez now in the corner. Both teams looking a little gassed here as we haven't had a whistle in a little while. Shield Knight pivots into Hayden Williams, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
A little scoreless stretch for the whole game right now as neither team scored in the last 2:30. Here's a couple of subs for SNU trying to get something going on offense.
Timeout on the court, 4:10 to go in the second quarter. 29-16, SNU leads this on a little bit of ragged play here of late, but we'll see if things can improve when we come back right after this.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character. And then creating culture. Certainly when we graduate students, they go out and they create culture in classrooms. They create culture in churches. They create culture anywhere they go. Last but certainly not least, in fact I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading this one by 13. Couple substitutions for both teams coming out of this timeout. For Southeastern, Macy Turkley into the game for the first time. And for SNU, Massey Beard back in, as well as Julia Schwacke, sophomore from Sugar Land, Texas. Her first action in several games. And she's going to be called for the foul.
Wow. She couldn't believe it. I don't know that I saw it either. Great hands there on defense. Thought she made good use of her first couple of seconds in the game, but instead they'll give her the foul.
Schwacke's appeared in just 10 games so far this season and hasn't played in a couple weeks. And then she comes up with the steal there, and Casey Glover pushing it for SNU. And a foul is going to be called on Turkley, battling for a position with Massey Beard. And Massey Beard will go to the line for 2 fouls as Southeastern is over the foul limit. Beard's shown a lot of promise so far this season for the Crimson Storm. She misses the first free throw, shooting 55% from the line this season, but she's certainly never going to be accused of being too tentative on the blocks on both ends of the court.
She's aggressive, and it's fun to watch. Maybe not as big as Abby Nehus, but she brings that energy in the paint and brings that hustle for sure.
Number 10, Randacia Hansen into the game for the first time. Long two is knocked down there by Turkley. Cuts the SNU lead down to 12. Schrupfer with it. Kick in the corner. Schwacke, now Glover. Entry pass into Beard. Turns. Took too long, and the defense converged, but she and Schwacke battle for it and force a tie-up. Possession arrow will give it back to Southeastern, though. A good hustle from Beard and Schwacke to force the jump ball there. Alexis Jones checking back in for Casey Glover.
Schwacke really active right now on both ends, trying to make the most of her minutes as she's really had the active hands with a couple of tie-ups now and the steals.
Kennedy Gillette into the game now for Massey Beard. So a really small lineup on the court for SNU right now. Schwacke, the tallest one out there, she's listed at 5'11". Kennedy Gillette listed at 5'10". But no true 5 out there for SNU right now. And a great defensive play by Schwacke, forcing the 5-second call on Randacia Hansen. That's another turnover for the Savage Storm, their 9th of the afternoon.
This might be SNU responding a little bit to the small ball of Southeastern as maybe not a true 5 on the other end of the floor either, getting out with the opportunity maybe to play some guard play.
Schrupfer with it now, finds Gillette at the elbow. Southeastern crashing hard on anything inside the three-point line. Schwacke will tee up a three-pointer, and she knocked it down.
That's some confidence out of the gate here from Schwacke. Has not seen the floor in a while. First shot attempt of the game for her will fall from deep as she has looked absolutely excellent in her 3 minutes of play so far.
Just her 3rd three-point attempt this season, her first make.
She made that look effortless.
Good double team in the corner, and Alexis Jones knocks the ball off of Moon's leg out of bounds. Moon was looking for a foul across the arm. But again, SNU turning up the defensive pressure in a big way here this afternoon. That's 10 turnovers now for Southeastern.
May kind of transitioning out of the second unit right now with Barry and Jones, but this second unit has been a spark plug off the bench, especially on that defensive end. Gillette and Schwacke, just very active hands, and they've really been keeping the momentum going here while some of the starters get a little bit of a breath there. That's going to be a tie-up call, I guess. Jump ball.
Turkley took the ball right away from Schrupfer on the drive. Jump ball was called. Possession arrow will give it to SNU. Schrupfer with the three-pointer missed it. Schrupfer somehow ended up on the floor. Jones gets the offensive rebound finally, and she is fouled by Hansen.
Schrupfer hit the floor hard.
I'm not sure where Schrupfer came from. Next thing I knew, she was laying in the middle of the lane on her back. Well, nothing too surprising for Schrupfer if you've seen her play at all this season. She's all over the place all the time.
I saw her hit the ground, and the nearest person to her that could have pushed her was Kennedy Gillette, and I don't think that was the case, but just an interesting play there. Schrupfer, though, not afraid to get in there and mix it up and really get after that ball.
Jones goes 2 for 2 from the line, pushing the lead to 35-18 in favor of the Storm. SNU just 2 of 8 from the field in this quarter, but they're 6 of 8 from the foul line. Turkley off the side of the backboard, gets her own miss though.
Pad the stat sheet there with the rebound.
Moon being guarded by Alexis Jones. That's been an intense matchup this afternoon. Johnson with it. Drives baseline on Schrupfer. 5 on the shot clock. Turkley catch and shoot 3 is an air ball. Moon puts up the reverse at the shot clock buzzer, and that's a shot clock violation. More good defense from SNU as Southeastern is down to 24% shooting for the game and 11 turnovers.
didn't really know what to expect coming into this game. Like you talked about, that last matchup in Durant, kind of not that helpful for the scouting report. But with 3 of their scorers on the bench, three of their scorers sidelined with injury. Southeastern struggling on offense, and SNU's defense just standing tall.
Turkley picks up her second foul on the bump on the driving Kennedy Gillette, so Gillette will go to the line for 2. Gillette 75.8% from the foul line this season, averaging 3.8 points per game. First one is off the mark, no good. Hayden Williams back in for Turkley. SNU's already gone 12 deep today. The only 2 players who have not played today, Addison Foster and Michaela Eisler. Second free throw is good for Gillette, and Coach Trent May will take a timeout with 1 minute 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter, or excuse me, in the first half. SNU leading 36-18, and Russ, it's been a interesting game for SNU, going deep and really forcing the tempo on both ends of the court, something we haven't really seen a lot this year, but certainly a style of play that Coach Trent May would prefer his Storm to play at.
Yeah, tough defense, really moving quick on offense, lots of pushing in transition, a lot of points in primary transition, and maybe some opportunities for some girls that don't get action that much off the bench in what looked like a pretty manageable game. And instead of managing, these girls off the bench have come in and continued to assert this lead for SNU, so exactly what you want to see from some of your deeper bench players in their opportunity. But loved the play we've gotten to see so far from some of these girls deep off the bench.
And SNU's been doing this without their normal key contributors doing much. Abby Nehu's picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter and has been off the court since. Hayden Williams wide with the shot there. Schrupfer with the rebound, and she'll take it slow. 40 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. SNU not opting for the 2-for-1 opportunity here. But even Irene Perez checked out here early mid-second quarter and hasn't come back, and she's had a tremendous first half. Alexis Jones wide with the shot, gets it back. Long 2-pointer, long. Schwacke battling for the rebound. Hayden Williams finally comes up with it. 12 on the game clock. Taylor Johnson pushes for the Savage Storm. Moon is ripped by Schrupfer, now knocked away by Schrupfer. Gillette on the floor with Williams, and that's how the first half is going to end. More tremendous defense from the Crimson Storm. SNU players all over the place, making plays on the defensive end. And it's going to be 36-18 SNU at halftime. Just a tremendous first half of basketball for the Crimson Storm. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have first half stats and analysis. This is SNU women's basketball.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character. And then creating culture. Certainly when we graduate students, they go out and they create culture in classrooms. They create culture in churches. They create culture anywhere they go. Last but certainly not least, in fact I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. We're at halftime here between the Crimson Storm and the Savage Storm. SNU leading this one 36-18, doubling up Southeastern in the first half, courtesy of 48% shooting, 13 of 27 from the field, and 8 of 11 performance from the foul line, and a stalwart defensive effort forcing Southeastern to just 23% shooting, 2 of 9 from three-point range, including 11 turnovers for the Savage Storm as well. SNU led in scoring by Alexis Jones with 12. She also has 6 rebounds. Irene Perez with 10 points. And SNU, Russ, ran 12 deep in that first half, partly due to some foul trouble early in the first quarter, but got great minutes from everyone, including Julia Schwacke, who came in for the first time in several games and hit a three-pointer.
Yeah, SNU right now pressing tempo, looking really good out there, forcing their hand on the defensive end, but really excited about the play we've seen. About from our regular subs, we've seen a lot of Soap, we've seen a lot of Beard this season, but very excited about some of the minutes we've seen from Shield Knight and especially from Schwacke coming in, contributing during some foul trouble or during maybe even some minutes when the game is a little bit more manageable, but stepping up and showing that they can play starter quality minutes.
JC Soap with 5 points off the bench. Shield Knight 2. Massey Beard and Kennedy Gillette both went 1 for 2 from the foul line. Again, Schwacke with that three-pointer. Madeline Schrupfer 2 points, but also 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Schrupfer, again, just the engine that makes this SNU team go. Sometimes a little reckless, but never one for lack of intensity.
No, not at all. I mean, what doesn't she do? We talk about all those rebounds. Such an undersized guard, not someone you expect to see getting a lot of boards, but she is just the epitome of a hustle player, getting those hustle rebounds. She drives in transition, and man, when there's loose balls, you're going to see Schrupfer on the floor chasing after, and that's the kind of intensity that really drives SNU's engine, just like you said.
SNU, again, like you mentioned, in the hustle stats, dominating the boards 24-10, courtesy of a 9-4 offensive rebounding edge as well. SNU got 20 of their 36 points in the paint in the first half and scored 17 points off of those 11 Southeastern turnovers. Southeastern was led in scoring by Briley Moon, who had half of their 18 points with 9. Alex Robinson had 5. Macy Turkley with 2, and Hayden Williams also with 2 points off the bench for Southeastern. And Russ, SNU shot just 2 of 10 there in that second quarter, but actually extended the lead courtesy of 7 of 10 performance from the foul line. And just looking at it, Southeastern was scoreless for those last 3.5 minutes of the second quarter, and SNU went on a 9-2 run over the last 7 minutes of the quarter, even though they were 1 of 9 from the field.
Yeah, for SNU in the second half, defense is going to be there, so how are we going to score? First quarter, we saw a lot of great picks, a lot of open lanes to the bucket, a lot of layups. Second quarter saw a lot of opportunities at the free throw line, but got to keep getting to the bucket. How is SNU going to score, especially if Southeastern really comes out after the half trying to lock down where SNU has been successful?
Neely Knowles' pass across the lane, deflected by Nihus and stolen by Perez. A great defensive possession to start the third quarter for SNU. We'll see if SNU pushes tempo like they did in that second quarter. Barry pulls the trigger for 3, in and out, and falls out. Barry just unable to get things going here this afternoon. Taylor Johnson controlling up top. Tracy Johnson, for Southeastern. Briley Moon thought about the 3 over Perez, thought better of it. Moon finds herself open in the corner for 3, and she'll knock that one down.
We talked about Southeastern's ability to shoot the 3 ball, and we didn't see a bunch of it in the first half, but maybe that's something they turn to here in the second half. SNU needs to find a way to really defend the 3.
Barry, a little bit too aggressive, lost the ball, but Schrupfer for 3, long with that one. Alexis Jones and Schrupfer fighting for the rebound, and we got a jump ball on the floor.
Just a pile there on the ground as Jones coming up a little shaken up, or shaking off a little bit there now as some words are being discussed with the ref. They're going to have a jump ball, though, going SNU's way.
Substitution for SNU. Soap will come in for Perez.
We saw Perez get out to a great early start, 1 for 1 from 3, 4 for 5 from the field, 10 points. But after that, not a whole lot of action as she hits the bench again.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Madeline Schrupp for another moving screen call, and that's the 4th this afternoon. 3 quick ones in the first quarter. And SNU extending that pressure. A little 2-on-1 action there. And with Soap already into the game and Perez on the bench, you kind of see the comfort that Trip May has with the people on his roster now and the roles that they have. Perez got caught behind the screen and allowed that three-pointer to Briley Moon, and quick hook just like that. Knoll spins on the baseline, no good. Schroepfer has the rebound. Soap gets inside, barrels into Sierra Rangel, and that's going to be an offensive foul on J.C. Soap. Second time she's been called for an offensive foul this afternoon, and just a little bit too aggressive. Kind of got caught and was unable to pull up short of the contact there. Again, the full court pressure giving Southeastern a little bit of trouble here as Briley Moon brings it up. Second foul on SNU already in the quarter. Second on J.C. Soap, who's now guarding Neely Knoll. Knoll trying to get it into Rangel. Great position and great double team there from Alexis Jones. Now Alex Robinson trying to go in on Barry. Looked like she traveled, no call. And Rangel knocks down the three-pointer from the top of the key.
Good ball movement there from the Lady Savage Storm as they find the open shooter at the top of the key. SNU, good rotation defense, but typically much better at rotating in the paint than rotating out around the key. Need to close out shooters a little better.
2 3-pointers for the Savage Storm have cut the lead to 36-24. Barry finally gets one to fall as it rattles in off the backboard. First points of the afternoon for the senior Adrian Barry.
Oh, a tough call there. Nehus thought she had the clean block, but she'll get just a little bit too much body contact, and as soon as that whistle blew, you could see she was not happy about it. That'll be her third now. She did sit a good amount of that first half. 3 now, not in immediate danger, especially after Thursday night getting to watch how long Nehus can play disciplined with some fouls, but a tough call there on Nehus trying to play tough in the paint.
Rangel hits the first free throw. Second free throw is up and also good. May leaving Nehus in for now. Nehus played just 8 minutes in the first, or has only played 8 minutes so far today. Just about 5 minutes there in the first half. Jones entry into Nehus, and Nehus is going to be fouled by Knoll going for the steal.
Yeah, Knoll trying to read that post entry all the way. Hops on it, but SNU will get the foul call.
Pass knocked away by Moon, out of bounds. May not pleased with the way his team has started this half offensively. Jones gets it in the corner to Soap. Jones will pull the trigger for 3. It's short. Adrian Barry with the offensive rebound. Gets it back up top to Jones, and SNU will reset. Barry crossover, barrels into traffic, lost the ball. Turnover SNU, and here come the Savage Storm. Tracy Johnson with it. Thought about a 3. Jones, good closeout there. SNU leading by 12. Entry into Rangel. She's bumped and fouled. I believe that's one's going to go on Alexis Jones. It's going to be her second. It's the 4th team foul on SNU. Just over 4 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Entry into Knoll. Briley Moon got free as the inbounder and gets the reverse layup to fall, and the lead is down to 10.
We talked about SNU's excellent start to this game shooting. Right now really struggling, though. 1 of 7 on their last 7 shots and 1 of 8 on their last 3-point attempts. So looking to get something going here for the offense.
Good swing pass to Barry. She missed the 3.
And they're going to get Schrupfer maybe on the line there, trying to tightrope across that baseline. Just not fine enough.
Inbounds comes to Tracy Johnson, and she'll quickly push it into the front court for Southeastern. SNU just 1 of 5 to start this second half. 3 turnovers as well for the Crimson Storm. Meanwhile, Southeastern 3 of 4 and 2 from 3-point range. Rangel will try another 3, and she knocks it down. And just like that, the lead is down to 7. It was an 18-point lead at halftime. It's a 13-2 run to start the half for Southeastern. Soap driving down the baseline and stepped on the in line. Another turnover for the Crimson Storm. That will take us to a timeout. 4:39 to go, third quarter. SNU still leading 38-31, but Southeastern making a charge here at the Sawyer Center. We'll be right back after this.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon, all right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since
The Great
19.
American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Field House in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th. The Great
4:39 to go for third quarter. SNU leading by 7, but it's a 13-2 run for Southeastern to start the second half. The Savage Storm right back in this one as SNU, with 4 turnovers and 1 of 5 shooting, have let Southeastern back into this game. Southeastern 3 of 3 from 3-point range here in the second half. Again, Southeastern, a very competent 3-point shooting team, 39% as a team this season. And they have shooters all over the floor, regardless of the fact that they have 3 of their top 4 scorers out for the season with injury, as that foul is going to go on Massey Beard, battling for position with Sierra Rangel.
Yeah, that's something that SNU's really going to need to worry about. Didn't have to be much of a concern in the first half. 2 of 9 from 3 for Southeastern, but now, like you said, 3 of 3. SNU needing to close out a little harder, a little stronger, and get to those shooters, because right now they're making them pay. And a couple of these shots have just been right over the SNU defender with not a whole lot of room. So Southeastern knows how to shoot the ball.
SNU in the penalty now, as Southeastern will get 2 shots the rest of the way here in this quarter, and Rangel hits the first and knocks down the second. Gives her 10 points this afternoon. Eight of those have come here in the first 5.5 minutes of the third quarter. Jones is blocked by Rangel. Here comes Southeastern with a chance to cut a 5-point lead down even further. Rangel spins, lost her dribble, kicks it out to Knoll. It's a quick timeout by Southeastern as Knoll was about to be tied up by J.C. Soap. And it's a full timeout here, so we'll take timeout with them. 4:13 to go, third quarter. SNU clinging to a 5-point lead. We'll be right back. Center has been a struggle so far for the Crimson Storm as Southeastern is on a 15-2 run to start the period and has cut the SNU lead that was once 36-18 down to 38-33, and Southeastern with a chance here to cut it down even further. 12 on the shot clock as Tracy Johnson works against Schrupfer. Rangel in the corner for three, and that's her third three-pointer of the quarter.
SNU needing to find answers defensively for the three ball and find answers offensively right now as a 15-point lead at the half dwindled down now to a 2-point lead. SNU desperate for answers right now as Trent May a little frustrated with the team calling out instructions there from the sideline. SNU needing to get something drawn up well here.
Entry pass into Beard. Soap has to put it up at the shot clock buzzer for three. It's off the mark, no good. Alexis Jones battling for the offensive rebound. We've got a jump ball, and that will give the ball back to Southeastern.
Again, just another tough offensive possession for SNU as shots not falling or not finding shots, the way they were in that first half. Lots of easy layup opportunities in that first quarter, lots of free throw opportunities in the second quarter, and now just cold in this third.
May is frustrated over there on the sidelines as we've seen him all year. SNU just doesn't seem to be able to get into her sets, and Beard beat on the baseline, commits a foul there. That's going to be her fourth foul. And Sierra Rangel will go back to the free throw line. Rangel with 11 points here in the third quarter, back for more with 3 minutes to go in the period.
Especially with the way that three-point shooting has been lighting up for Southeastern, and that foul on Beard. Look for SNU right here to drop back into a little bit of a small ball look. Gillette checking in for Beard. Maybe an opportunity to hustle a little bit, maybe push the tempo, but also really needing to close out and stay wide on the shooters.
And a lane violation on Neely Knoll wipes out the made free throw. But either way, in 7 minutes, Southeastern has all but eliminated an 18-point halftime deficit. It's one thing for that to happen. It's another thing for it to happen in 7 minutes. Jones is fouled by Alex Robinson.
This could be the break that SNU needs. A couple of free throws here to get the shooting stroke going. SNU desperate need of points. 19-4 run over the last 9 minutes. 13-0 run in this quarter.
Jones hits the first one. She was 2 for 2 from the line in the first half. Jordan Benson into the game for Southeastern. Neely Knoll goes off holding her neck. They taken a shot there from an elbow or a shoulder or something. Jones hits the second one. SNU extends some full court press. Gillette into the game for Massey Beard.
Already you can feel the SNU defensive pressure really ramping up as active hands, active bodies trying to stifle this Southeastern offense. They'll get a tough foul call there now on what looked like was Kennedy Gillette.
Gillette a little bit too aggressive, trying to jump the passing lane, and allowed Rangel to get inside there, and Rangel again back at the free throw line. She misses the first. It's her first miss of the afternoon from the foul line. It's the first foul on Kennedy Gillette. So again, the 5 on the court right now: Barry, Schrupfer, Soap, Gillette, and Alexis Jones. Rangel hits the second one. It's still a 2-point game, 40-38. SNU just 1 of 7 from the field. They're 1 of their last 10 from the field and 1 of their last 10 from three-point range as well. SNU trying to probe. Gillette. Mid-range jumper is no good. Good box out from Johnson, but Schrupfer weasels her way in there for the offensive rebound. She takes it inside. An offensive foul is called on Madeline Schrupfer.
That's a tough call, and Schrupfer just realized what the call was. She can't believe it. Just a rough call, not going SNU's way, as the refs will hear it from this Sawyer Center crowd. Should have been a hoop and the harm, but instead it's going the other way.
Moon has the pass stolen by Gillette. Ball's deflected off of Gillette, out of bounds, as Barry, Schrupfer, and Gillette were all clustered together trying to get the ball and race up court at the same time. The Southeastern gets possession back. Schrupfer misses on the gamble. Southeastern can tie or take the lead with a 3 here. Rangel gets inside of Gillette, and Gillette blocks her from behind, but the foul is going to go on Kennedy Gillette. That's her second, and Gillette goes down hard.
That's the 19th foul of the game on SNU, as they're really struggling just to play ball right now. That whistle being blown a lot, and a lot of times right now that seem to be undercutting SNU's attempts to get momentum back going.
And Rangel has been a tour de force here in the second half. Now up to 14 points. And she ties the score at 40 with those 2 free throws.
8 of those points for Rangel coming on free throws, as she's really made the most of her opportunities from the charity stripe.
Soap drives baseline, cut off there by Moon. Nice hesitation dribble. She gets inside and scores. Beautiful move from J.C. Soap to get free of the double team from Briley Moon, and she puts SNU back in the lead. Rangel gets Gillette in the air, and she squeezes through. That's going to be another foul on SNU.
You've seen this before, but Rangel at the charity stripe.
Alexis Jones laughing at the foul call on her. That's her 3rd. And again, Rangel at the line again for free throw attempts 10 and 11. Knocks down the first.
And that may be the disadvantage of the small ball for SNU, not able to really stand tall in the paint right now, as players rotating and sliding well, but just not able to play defense without getting a call.
Rangel misses the second. So the lead is 1 for SNU as we're under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. SNU has been outscored 23-6 by the Savage Storm here in the 3rd quarter. Barry wide open in the corner for 3, short with it. Briley Moon with the rebound. She's got it. Guarded by Barry. Benson behind the back dribble against Soap. Pivots into the paint. Soap with the rejection. Looked like Benson grabbed the ball while she was out of bounds. She tips it out of bounds, and SNU will have possession 22.4 seconds to go. Irene Perez will check in for Adrian Berry. Jordan Benson out, Hayden Williams in. So SNU basketball with 22.4 seconds to go in the third quarter. Jones taking her time as SNU will work for the final shot here. Again, what was once an 18-point lead at halftime has been whittled to 1, thanks in large part to the play of Sierra Rangel. Soap finds herself open for 3, just missed it. Briley Moon comes down with it, and she'll let the clock dribble out. And that's the end of the third quarter here at the Sawyer Center as Southeastern mounts a massive comeback in the third quarter and trails by 1. SNU up 42-41. We've got the final quarter for you when we come back after this.
American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th. The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th. The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns.
We enter the final quarter here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leading by just a point, 42-41. Southeastern on the backs of 16 points from Sierra Rangel in the third quarter mount a furious comeback. Managed to tie it at 40, but unable to take the lead. We'll see how SNU responds here. Abby Nehu's back on the court. Irene Perez also in for Adrian Berry. And again, Alexis Jones, the recipient of some interesting defense as she loses the ball, gets it out. Perez will fire up a 3 as the shot clock's ticking down. It's long. Tracy Johnson with the rebound.
SNU on the past couple of possessions have had some good looks on ISO moves, but not a whole lot coming out of the set offense when they're moving the ball and passing around. Not a lot of open looks right now as their success has come on ISO.
Traveling the call on Sierra Rangel. Abby Nehu's back in. She picked up a third foul early in the third quarter and sat the rest of the quarter. She's only played 11 minutes today. Has not scored, does not have a rebound or a block.
Now your typical stat line from Abby Nehu is an interesting day for SNU trying to find production from different contributors.
5 on the shot clock. Schrupfer, step back three-pointer off the glass, no good. Perez, the offensive rebound. The SNU will reset. Perez traveled, got close inside, and became indecisive and traveled with it. So SNU, again, still clinging to a 1-point lead. Aggressive on the offensive end, but nothing to show for it so far in this period. Williams runs over Perez, no call. After some of the calls we've had today, kind of surprised that wasn't a call.
Yeah, the ref gave her a look, maybe thinking it was a flop, but that's not what it looked like from here.
Perez misses the wide open three-pointer. Southeastern quickly back the other way, still with an opportunity to take the lead. Ball stripped by Alexis Jones. It's on the floor, and we've got a tie up. Ball will be with Southeastern, still 20 on the shot clock. 2 minutes gone by. No scoring here in the fourth quarter. Moon gets it into Alex Robinson, who's guarded by J.C. Soap. Tracy Johnson in the corner. She'll fire a three-pointer over Schrupfer. It's no good. Rangel tips the rebound, but Schrupfer.
Another tough call, and Schrupfer
ruled that she stepped out of bounds, going to get the ball.
They'll get her being out of bounds, and then the first one to touch the ball after coming back in. Good box out by Nehus. So she really stretched out for that rebound, but wasn't able to bring it down.
Rangel checks out. Neely Knoll back into the game. You imagine this would probably be a short break for Sierra Rangel. Alexis Jones is called for the foul, trying to get around the screen from Hayden Williams.
She can't believe it. A tough call there. She's trying to go over the top of the pick. Maybe bounced a little bit of her head off the shoulder, and there she'll draw the offensive foul with the shoulder to the chest. That call will be in Jones's favor.
Not a lot of contact there from Briley Moon, but certainly had the arm up high on Alexis Jones.
It was a good sell job.
It was. And it was right in front of the official as well. Any other angle and probably would not have been called. Again, Alex Robinson playing well off of Jones, doubling Nehus in the post. And we've got a foul call coming against the Savage Storm. That's going to be on Moon. That's going to be her third foul, second team foul.
Whistles early and often still in this fourth quarter.
So pivots. Jones traveled with it.
And still not a whole lot doing on that SNU offense. 1 for 11 now of their last 11, scoreless over the last 4 minutes of gameplay.
Trip May looking for answers. And again, as frustrated as we've seen him this season, Hayden Williams gets inside. Nehus with the block. Schrupfer comes away with it. Perez probing with it. Now Soap with it up top. She'll pull the trigger for three from the top of the key and airball it. Goes out of bounds. Substitutions coming. Sierra Rangel back into the game, and Alexis Jones will take a seat. Adrian Berry back in. Neely Knoll out for Southeastern. Again, 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. No score. Teams have combined 0 for 7 from the field, and all 4 of SNU attempts have been from the three-point line. One was a late shot clock heave. The others within the offense, but probably not the best looks for SNU at this point. Robinson driving on Soap. Great defense to shut off the baseline, and Schrupfer steps into the passing lane. One-on-one. Steps inside of Tracy Johnson and scores. What a great move from Schrupfer.
A little hesitation there. I think the defender maybe even got a hand on the ball, but a little patience in the hezzy move there. Goes up and gets the layup. What a great move from Schrupfer.
Rangel shut down by Nehus. Nehus almost committed a silly foul there. Robinson steps inside the three-point line, missed the shot. Tracy Johnson, the offensive rebound. Looks like she traveled, but forced up the shot and in.
What an interesting angle. She'll get the layup, but not necessarily how we're taught how to shoot that in training camp. And maybe a coach's warning here on Trent May.
Coach's warning or a bench warning or something. Alexis Jones was up and cheering. I think the official was telling her to have a seat. Either way, it's a one-point game still. Nehus catches it deep, puts it up with the left hand, and goes off the glass and in.
Credit that to arm length. She was cutting hard, and the pass maybe a little bit behind her, but just reached out and palmed that ball back in. A great hustle play from Irene Perez as they'll tie up. It's going to be a jump ball. That persistence in the full court press paying off for SNU.
Now SNU will take over on the tie-up. Another possession to extend a three-point lead. Soap steps inside of Williams, off the glass and in. Huge play from the freshman. Johnson with it. Ooh, Barry nearly could have had a backdoor pick there, but either way, Southeastern with it. SNU back up 5. Big response here. Start the fourth quarter. Johnson spins. Nihu sends that one out of bounds.
A tough block there from Nehus. Nothing going in the paint for Southeastern. That's going to be ball under the basket now for the black and blue. Another opportunity here for the SNU defense to stand tall.
And Barry commits a silly foul. Going for the steal there. A little bit too much of a push. Her second foul, second team foul here in the quarter as we're exactly halfway through the fourth quarter. SNU up 5, 48-43. Russ, you mentioned nothing doing for Southeastern in the paint. SNU leads that category 30-8. Johnson with it, guarded by Schrupfer. Williams entry to Wrangle. Shoots over Nehus, that's an air ball. Schrupfer lost it, and she's undercut from behind by Tracy Johnson. And that will take us to a timeout on the court. 4:37 to go in this one. SNU let a big lead slip away, but they lead by 5 right now. 48-43. We'll have the finish when we come back after this.
1954.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
Give him a hug.
No. Next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No way. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
It's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since
Army Reserve soldiers use their skills to make the Army even more capable and gain the tools to make themselves even more successful. Learn how at GoArmyReserve.com.
SNU leads this one 48-43, 4:37 to go from the Sawyer Center. And Russ, SNU getting back to that defensive pressure we saw in the first half, and that seems to have given them a bit of a jolt on both ends of the court.
Yeah, so I think they got away from the small ball a little bit, getting Nehus back in there, and what that turned into was empty trips in the paint for Southeastern, whereas when they were in that small ball look, Southeastern was able to get to the bucket and maybe not necessarily score, but SNU continually getting called for the foul, and it resulted in a lot of free throw trips. So right now, SNU dominant in the paint, Nehus standing tall, and it is that stifling has given the offense enough time to start figuring out their answers. Holding Southeastern at 43 now for a good amount of this quarter has given the offense an opportunity to rebound.
Inside out with Schrupfer and Nehus, and Schrupfer knocks it down. Big three-pointer from Madeline Schrupfer, her first three-point make of the afternoon, and suddenly it's an 8-point lead again.
And you don't want to speak too quickly as a big lead dwindled away by Southeastern earlier in this half, but 8 points, a big opportunity for the SNU defense to stand tall as a tough miscommunication on the rebound there. Will roll away. It looked like all white jerseys once that ball came down.
Barry with a big block there on Hayden Williams, but it goes out of bounds. Then she knocks that pass out of bounds as well. It's been a tough day for Adrian Barry, just 1 of 6 from the field, 2 points, and a couple tough foul calls that, at least that she has felt, were tough foul calls. Inbounds comes to Tracy Johnson and finds some space. Missed the open layup. And Schrupfer is tied up by Briley Moon, and it will stay here with Southeastern.
Southeastern finally getting an open look at the rim without Nehus standing on guard, and just a very unfriendly bounce from the rim there.
Wrangle in the corner. Now Moon with it. Zero Wrangle shut down by Abby Nehus. Great defense from Nehus. Forces the pass back out to Moon. Perez Now Johnson, as
double
SNU flying at it. Oh, Johnson tried the no-look pass to Rangel when she didn't need to, and Schrupfer comes away with it. She'll dribble it back out and run some clock for SNU.
A bailout maybe there for SNU as they accidentally closed out two on the shooter, Irene Perez and Abby Nehus, both closing out at the top of the key. But a silly, flashy pass turns into an SNU ball.
JC Soap with a nice hesitation move gets to the baseline. Barry pulls up for three. It's no good. Perez tips the offensive rebound out to Schrupfer, and SNU will run another shot clock.
Now, right now, the clock is your friend. An opportunity here to continue dribbling and keep whittling away this clock as we get deeper and deeper into this fourth quarter. It's going to be a big advantage for SNU as a tricky play there turns into a steal for Southeastern.
Briley Moon came from Adrian Berry blind side and took it right away from her. Good heads-up play by Briley Moon, who's had a really impressive day on both ends of the court herself. Moon finds it open on the baseline, missed it. Nehus the rebound. Briley Moon has gone the distance today.
Oh, game of tag going on up here at the top of the key as Schrupfer will slow it down a little bit, try and burn some more of that clock now at 2 minutes left in the game.
Schrupfer pulls the trigger for another three. It's no good. Good box out by Hayden Williams. And here comes Southeastern. Both teams look a little worn out at this point, Russ. And Coach Trent May was yelling for his players to move on that last set, and everybody just looks a little worn down. Briley Moon with the double dribble. Comes up holding her right shin. Full timeout called by Southeastern. We'll take timeout with them. 1:48 to go. SNU holding an 8-point lead. We'll be right back after this. SNU holding an 8-point lead with 1:48 to go, and Russ, again, the defense has been turned up for the Crimson Storm here in the fourth quarter. They allowed Southeastern to tie the game at 40. It's an 11-3 run since that point. Almost over 10 minutes of game action, but just 2 points here in the fourth quarter for Southeastern. Testament to what SNU's been able to do on the defensive end. Adrian Berry breaks the press easily. Alexis Jones back into the game for Irene Perez, and SNU will run some clock here. Jones gets inside, drives in on Rangel, and an offensive foul is called on Alexis Jones.
That'll be her fifth if it is on Jones. Schrupfer trying to make a case that it was on her, maybe. I'm not sure what the debate is here, but Trent May getting a couple words in edgewise as well.
Certainly not pleased with the call. Rangel, a feather would have knocked her over with the way that she fell over. Now one official has come in to discuss with the other official on whether or not potentially she was in the restricted zone, perhaps.
Is this one you can go to the monitor on, or does this need to be decided between?
I believe you can go to the monitor to review that.
Hey, it looks like they're heading that way after a couple of words with Trent May. Oh, no, just more discussion as they're going to get a free timeout out of this. As the fate of the end of the game for Alexis Jones hangs in the balance. That would be her 5th foul if it stands.
We've already had one overruling of a block charge call, but that was just on a simple viewing angle from one official to another. But we'll see what happens here as the officials have gone to the monitor to take a look at that. And again, regardless of whether she was in the restricted area or not, there was minimal contact between Jones and Rangel. I mean, you could have sneezed and she fell over. She flopped so hard on that one.
It was certainly not your most conventional charge call, as they've come up from the monitor now and they're discussing it with Trent May. Potentially the way they are acting, it looks as though the call will be upheld. A couple of words to each coach now as they will go ahead and inbound.
So Perez comes in for Alexis Jones, who fouls out with 14 points and 6 rebounds. SNU extending some full court pressure. Tracy Johnson is guarded by Schrupfer. Hayden Williams, quick trigger for 3. It's off the mark, no good. Schrupfer overjumped. Alex Robinson threw up a shot from her knee. She was fouled.
I think they're going to get Schrupfer on that one, and that will be her 4th. So now SNU, only a minute left in the game, but she gets an explanation. Now a couple of big key players for SNU going down to foul trouble and fouling out. Adrian Jones, like we talked about, the scoring leader for SNU, seemed to be the one that had the most going for her on offense, 14 points thus far. And now SNU will need to continue without her assistance on the offensive end.
Alex Robinson hits the first, and all 3 officials had some form of conversation with Madeline Schrupfer on that, who, in addition to going very hard on the court, goes very hard in her expressions and understanding of certain calls as well. Schrupfer will dribble out in front of the scores table. 10 on the shot clock. SNU leading by 6. She's going to drive in, puts it up with the left-handed short. Irene Perez, the offensive rebound. And she's tied up is called.
Jump ball on that as Irene Perez was just swarmed by black and blue defenders.
I don't think anybody actually had the ball.
That's a tough call, not going SNU's way. They'll keep it on the jump ball, but tough situation for Irene Perez.
Barry is fouled by Alex Robinson, as Southeastern had 1 foul to give. Next foul will put SNU at the foul line. Schrupfer inbounding, gets it into Soap. Now Schrupfer with it, and she's fouled by Tracy Johnson, and Schrupfer will go to the line for 2. We'll see if SNU can hold down the fort at the free throw line. You certainly like your chances here with Schrupfer, a 79.7% free throw shooter this season. That's top 10 in the conference. And the senior at the line looking to ice this one for SNU, and she hits the first, which is huge, puts it at a 3-possession game. Second one up and good. The senior perfectly calm and made no waiting about it. Very quick with the free throws and puts SNU back up by 8. 53:45 to go. 36 seconds to play in this one, and SNU looks like they might be in good shape to close this one out, but with the 3-point shooting from Southeastern, hard to tell, although strangely, Sierra Rangel has been on the bench for the last possession or 2 for Southeastern after she scored 16 points in the 3rd quarter and knocked down 3 3-pointers. Interesting decision there to have her on the bench in this situation after such a hot shooting performance there in the 3rd quarter. But SNU will certainly take that. Neely Knoll. Now Briley Moon with a free lane to the basket, puts it up off the glass. She missed it, gets the offensive rebound, puts it up. She's fouled. And she'll go to the line for 2, and this one is going to be on Madeline Schrupfer. And that is going to foul her out of the game. So Madeline Schrupfer fouls out with 9 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 steals.
Just shy of that double-double, but the 5 steals, 3 assists certainly make up for the 1 missing point. As we will see Julia Schwake again. Schwake, excuse me.
Interesting choice there from Trip May to put Schwake in with 29.5 seconds left here.
And maybe just a nod to her excellent play there in the second quarter as she came on and was a defensive presence for SNU during their big run. And even hitting the 3-ball.
Moon hits 1 of 2. Full court pressure for Southeastern. Soap is fouled quickly by Moon. It's going to be 4 on Moon now. And the freshman JC Soap going to the line.
At the line, shooting 2, JC Soap.
Again, looking to extend the lead here. First one is short. Seven-point lead for SNU, 53-46. Doing a check on the clock here. We got that all squared away. 28.3 seconds remaining. And Soap missed the first one. Looking to hit the second one, and she does. And it's an 8-point game for SNU. Timeout Southeastern. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Russ, just a matter of not defending without fouling and knocking down some free throws here, and SNU's going to rebound nicely from a win or a loss on Thursday against Northwestern with a win here, and really rebounding from just a tremendously tough showing in the third quarter here as well to lock down Southeastern to just 5 points to this point in the fourth quarter. Certainly a testament to the defense that SNU has turned on here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, their defensive play here in the fourth has been absolutely excellent, really shutting down anything happening in the paint and even anything happening from mid and 3 for Southeastern. This defensive presence has been the turnaround and the catalyst for SNU here in the fourth.
Robinson takes 2 steps inside from the inbounds pass and puts up a 25-footer and airballs it out of bounds. So SNU inbounding. Ball comes into Soap, and Soap gets it over to Perez. Gets it up ahead to Adrian Berry, and it looks like Southeastern's going to concede this one. They're not going to foul, and SNU will run the clock out here at the Sawyer Center, and they're going to come away with a 54-46 win over the Savage Storm of Southeastern. Big bounce-back win for SNU. And a big bounce back within the game as well. An 18-point halftime lead was cut down to nothing. It was tied at 40 there in the third quarter, Russ, but SNU closed the game on a 14-6 run, allowed just 5 points in the fourth quarter, and they come away with another conference win to move to 11-5 in conference play, 12-10 overall. And you know, it's kind of hard to measure this one given the great performance we saw in the first half, first quarter in particular, and then the rough showing we saw in the third quarter. And, you know, offensively, everything after the first quarter was not the prettiest thing. SNU finished just 3 of 21 from behind the arc, but, you know, a win's a win in conference, and a win that you get back from a loss there on the first go-around is always nice to avenge.
Yeah, SNU, an interesting game all around. We saw all kinds of different things as far as excellent offensive work, small ball. We saw some great three-point shooting from Southeastern, but at the end of the day, I think in the fourth quarter, SNU able to come out on top, and it's that tough defensive pressure inside, that scrappy defense from full court and half-court pressure that really turned the tides in this one. SNU able to come away with the win behind their staple defense.
46 points for Southeastern. That's the second time in as many weeks, or a third time in as many weeks, SNU has held an opponent under 50 points. They held Monticello to 36 here back on January 24th. On the 26th, they held Southern Arkansas to 50 and Henderson State to 48 last Thursday. And then tonight, or this afternoon, holding Southeastern to 46 points today. Alexis Jones led the team in scoring with 14 points on 5 of 11 shooting. She also had 6 rebounds. Irene Perez with 10 points and 6 rebounds, and freshman J.C. Soap off the bench also with 10 points. Madeline Schrupfer with her usual stat-stuffing line, 9 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals before fouling out late in this one. Adrian Berry and Abby Nehus with 2 points apiece. So is Shield Knight 2 points, and Julia Schwacke 3 points. Kennedy Gillette and Massey Beard each a point apiece. For Southeastern, they finished with 26% shooting. Shot 6 of 16 from three-point range, 4 of those coming in that third quarter comeback. They were 16 of 21 from the foul line. Led by Sierra Rangel, 18 points. She was 9 of 11 from the foul line and 3 of 4 from three-point range. Briley Moon went the distance for the Savage Storm, scoring 15 points, having 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Alex Robinson also went the distance for the Savage Storm, 7 points for her. Macy Turkley, 2 points, and Hayden Williams with 2 points, as well as Tracy Johnson also had 2 points for the Savage Storm. Russ, any final thoughts on this game from you? Another big win for SNU in conference play.
Yeah, an interesting win, but a big win nonetheless, and a great opportunity for SNU to keep this momentum rolling going into the continued home stretch. Big win on a Saturday night. We'll get to see what they bring back here to the Sawyer Center next Thursday night.
We'll take a short timeout. When we come back, we'll be joined by freshman J.C. Soap and head coach Trent May. We'll get their thoughts on today's win for SNU. Again, the final from the Sawyer Center, SNU 54, Southeastern 46. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU 54-46 winners over Southeastern today. We're joined now by freshman J.C. Soap. And J.C., another win for you guys, although a little bit up and down within the game, but overall a conference win is still a conference win.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, J.C., you've kind of carved out a little role for yourself, 4 straight games, double figures for you. What's the adjustment been like for you during your freshman season?
It was a little hard going from high school to college, but the coaches and teammates have been really great in just helping improve everyone with every skill that we have. So.
What was kind of the more difficult part for you?
Defense.
Yeah?
Defense, definitely. But Coach Cooper, he really knows how to teach it in practice, I'll tell you that. But he's just really helped us all defensively, so it just comes together as a team. And it helps whenever the team has good energy and everyone's playing good defense. It just makes you really want to play good defense as well.
Now, that first half, you got out to an 18-point halftime lead, playing a little bit of a style we haven't seen a lot from you guys this year, just really pushing tempo on offense and full court press on defense. You guys like playing that way, getting up in people's grill like that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Now, third quarter, they obviously made a big comeback. What kind of fell apart there for you guys?
Just wasn't closing out on shooters, really. They were hitting their shots, and we weren't really hitting ours, but it eventually came together in the fourth, which is good.
Yeah, you kind of got back to that good defense again, only 5 points in the fourth quarter for Southeastern. Has defense kind of been a calling card that you guys are starting to hang your hat on a little bit, take pride in more?
Oh, yeah. We definitely go to our defense. It helps us with our offense as well. When we play better defense, our offense comes together more, and it just gives us a lot of energy and tempo for the game.
All right, well, JC Soap, again, 10 points for the freshman, 4 straight games, double-figure scoring for her off the bench. And SNU, another win here in conference play. When we come back, we'll be joined by head coach Trent May to get his thoughts about today's game. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, and we're joined now by women's head coach Trent May after SNU's 54-46 win over Southeastern. And Coach, congrats on another big win for you guys in conference. What were your thoughts on today's game?
Man, like you just said, good win. You win in conference, it's a good thing. So thankful. I love what that team, Southeastern's about. I love their coaching. They did a fantastic job running a game plan, and I was getting my tail out coached for most of the game. So credit to my players making plays, in the fourth quarter, but they owned us in the third quarter, and so, but thankfully we play 4 quarters, and thankfully we didn't play any we only gave up 1, third quarter versus any more, because if they would have had any other quarters like the third, we would have lost big. So, but we didn't, and that's a great thing on a Saturday, because we don't play again until Thursday, so we get to have a lot of days to reflect on this, to get better and, prepare for Thursday. But, we things didn't go our way on Thursday night and went away with a loss. But we didn't today, Luke. Not today.
That's right. Absolutely. And, that first half we saw a little bit of things different from you guys as far as the press and just really playing with some pace. Was there anything that you saw from them that was allowing you guys to kind of push the tempo a little bit more?
They're shorthanded right now, unfortunately for them. I know that's you hate when you lose players in any capacity, and they've got great kids, and you just hate for any team to be deficient because of personnel. So, we just, we felt like we could apply a little pressure here and there, and so we kind of wanted to, and that made a difference. And we still didn't execute a lot of things that we needed to, even in the first half. Even the score was there was a big differential, but we just little things here and there that we just not accustomed to, that we just kind of out of character, just really out of sync for whatever reason. So, but you know what? The pressure worked in the second half a little bit. I don't know if we forced as many turnovers as we would have liked, especially when we had 23 and they had 20. So it's just, that can't happen because they didn't apply any pressure. So it goes back to our decision making and, staying in character and doing what you're trained to do.
And you also went 12 deep there in the first half, and seemed like everyone really kind of contributed in one way or another there.
Well, and there was a little bit of foul trouble. It felt good getting players some minutes that haven't seen minutes in a while. But and big shot by Julia. That was big. Is you don't have to come in and miss. It's not a rule that you have to come in and do things, they're going to hurt the team. You can do things when you come in to help the team. It's contrary to what people think. And so, she came off and, hit that three. That was big because obviously it was, it ended up being a close game. So every bucket that we made tonight was was crucial. So.
Now they knocked you around a little bit in the third quarter, but the fourth quarter you guys locked down, allowed just one made field goal for them in the fourth quarter. How big is it to see that kind of fight from your girls out there? Yeah, it's big, and you just kind of, as a coach, like I've said this many times on our post-game interviews, is that we're greedy, and we always will be, and that's not going to change. So, when you give up 23 in a quarter, it's like last game. We played a horrible third quarter Thursday night. That was the challenge today. Is we're going to come out after half, and we're going to be who we are, and we're going to take care of business, and we're not, we're going to leave no doubt. Well. We didn't want to play that way today. Again, that's just you come out of the locker room, making adjustments. We're talking about it, what we're doing well, what we need to focus on, and Thursday there was a little bit more. The pitch was a little bit higher on Thursday night. Today this halftime nice and calm, steady. So either way, regardless of the intensity on Thursday and the calmness today, it still produced two bad third quarters, and that's something you got to be focused out of the locker room. Just like beginning of the game, we weren't ready to play at the beginning of the game today for whatever reason. And when I say we, when I speak in, there might have been a few people ready to go, but if we're all not ready to go, then it is we. It's not, and that's all it takes. If we're not all in, then we're not all in. And so, not ready to play in the beginning of the game and not ready in just, abysmal, third quarter by not doing the things we are trained to do, not following scouting report. And and give Southeastern credit for capitalizing on our weaknesses, and that's what you do. That's what basketball or any game of chess. So what one person's doing, can you combat that and take advantage of their weaknesses and their and capitalize on your strengths? And they made it look really easy. And so, but they did a great job. And again, credit to those kids who are again down personnel, but yet not down on heart. Absolutely. So because they battled and they wanted every piece of us, and they were never afraid, and they gave us a great shot. Absolutely. Well, Coach, congrats again. Thank you. Enjoy this one, and we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll preview the men's game for SNU and Southeastern. We'll be right back. Thanks, Luke.